the Ukraine war has taught us, one thing that has really come through is our excessive dependence on oil and gas. Renewable energy sources have been around for years, but renewable energy developers who might be working on a wind farm or a solar plant or a geothermal facility, particularly if they are operating at a smaller scale or a medium-sized scale, they don't have access to banks, to entities that can invest in their facilities. So that's a problem. And that still holds true today. So if you look at a small wind farm developer in Iowa or a solar developer in Punta in Gujarat, they will not have access to the likes of JP Morgan or Barclays to raise project financing, to fund their project. So on the other hand, bigger companies like Chevron and Shell and Williams companies do. They get these project financing investments to build large-scale oil and gas projects which do their bit to cause environmental damage, and I'll give you an example. Back in June 2006, a massive rainstorm hit the Catskills, and it caused severe flooding in upstate New York, Smokemark, and Hudson Valley counties, really sweeping untold volumes of debris into rivers and streams and waterways. And the storm damaged the property of Anne Marie Carty. A seasonal stream swelled far beyond its bed and devoured her pond. So 6 years later, in 2016, Anne was one of the people who fought to stop the construction of Constitution Pipeline, a natural gas pipeline that was scheduled to pass through her area in the Catskills. And she had told me that when water is rushing down the hill in huge quantities, so it goes where it has never gone before, especially if there's a new pathway. And if you put a pipeline there, it's going to bring forth a new pathway which will exacerbate storms in that area. So a mountainous area held together by trees and already prone to severe storms is not the place for a pipeline. So that's what she had told me when I interviewed her as a senior journalist covering oil and gas markets at S&P Global. And now Williams Companies has held a majority stake in a Constitution Pipeline. They had funding, backing, and all that. And the company, the operator, Williams Companies, had received federal approval through a Federal Energy Regulatory Commission ruling or FERC ruling. And additionally, they got a state approval from Pennsylvania, the state where the pipeline was scheduled to originate from. Now the pipeline was also going to pass through New York State, to 5 counties in New York. So Williams Companies also needed a permit from New York State. They wanted a water quality permit, or Section 404 of the Clean Water Act, which governs discharges into waterways. Now all these protests were going on in New York. They said, hey, look, if the pipeline is passing through these 5 counties, it is going to run along hundreds of rivers and streams and waterways, and that will kill aquatic life. It will cause environmental damage. It will worsen weather conditions in prone areas, and would even kill people. So New York State was in a bind, and everyone was also pessimistic at that point of time because New York State had never really been known to deny a permit, a license permit for the construction of a pipeline. The only thing that really stood out at the time, this was in 2016, was that the New York State government had withheld a water permit in 2010, that too for a nuclear facility, not for a pipeline. But about 4 days after my story about the protest against the Constitution Pipeline went live in 2016, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation rejected this much-needed license permit that Williams Companies required to begin constructing the pipeline. Of course, the whole battle went back on the books. But it was a huge win for everyone at the time, really. And why am I mentioning this now? Because back then, I reflected what I must have done or how I must have done it. I'm not psychic. I did not predict what would happen in the story. What I tried to do was I tried to connect with different sources of mind and levels that were relatable to them. I tried to think critically and logically and combine those approaches with lateral ways of how I could creatively represent the problem at hand in a way that was universally relatable. And that's the kind of thinking that a background in economics can equip you with. The ability to look at the bigger picture, that is instrumental to evolving as a leader.